Welcome to my channel. In the last sliding motor installed, I didn't manage to get this photocell in place. They didn't respond, and I forgot my meter, so I can't do any investigation to see if the fault came from the transmitter or the receiver. Now I will test those photocell, and tomorrow I will install them if they are okay. I will connect the power. I will use those test lead. I will use those wire for the for this breadboard. I can undo. Nothing happened. Now I can measure the power. In the failed, when I touch this photodiode, we have here a infrared photodiode, maybe BPW34, maybe it close. First of all, we will measure the voltage. We have here DC voltage. I will put the screwdriver under the. This is the best position for this LCD screen without reflection. Now here what we get, 14 volt, and here we have nothing. Why? We have here chosen the wrong pin, must be here. Now we have 14 volt also here. If we put those together, nothing happen. The relay must click. Now if I touch this photodiode, you see that the relay is activated. So maybe the fault is with this infrared LED. I didn't see any emission with the phone. Maybe it can't receive this wavelength. So the problem is with this transmitter. I reverse engineered this part. It's a simple infrared transmitter. You can see here in the microscope. We have our 555 circuit oscillator. It controls this, it drives this BGT PNP transistor, and this transistor drives the infrared LED. We have here the schematic. We have the plus VCC. We have a resistor of 8.2 ohm. This one is connected to the BGT transistor PNP. And this transistor drives the LED, which is connected to the ground. I didn't find the fault here or a bad component. This is a diode. This is two resistor. Those are the rectifier, 4 diode rectifier, bridge, which form a bridge rectifier. We have here a small resistor. Maybe we will control those tiny components. This one we will control the resistor. The diode are controlled okay. Maybe we will control this tiny one. It's connected here. This is the LED is not okay. I will bring my other meter. Each meter has its advantage and disadvantage. This one is more readable. I will control this tiny LED, tiny resistor, 170. Maybe it must be read 47 ohm. Yes, 47. So it's okay. You can see that it's soldered okay. But why there is no reading? There isn't any coating here. We will test this resistor is tested. All the other resistors are tested. I will see if there is a signal here in this. We will try to find the signal in this emitter here. I will grab my scope and I will try. Now we can remove the microscope. We can shut off the microscope. We will turn off the monitor. Now we will bring our breadboard. Can add some light here. We power on the power supply. We will try to power this tiny transmitter. It's not working yet. Now I will try to grab my tiny scope. This scope is still functioning. We have here the ground and here the positive. Here is the input. We have some signal. I must solder a wire in the ground here to do a proper test. I will turn on my soldering iron. So I will solder this wire to the ground. It will be soldered here. This is the ground. In this resistor. So we have our ground here. Now we will connect the ground to the scope. I will connect this ground here. Our ground is connected. Now we can test the circuit. And here we have some signal here, but it's not, it's tiny signal on the millivolt. After some probing, I found that the problem comes from this resistor, the 8.2 ohm resistor between the VCC and the emitter of this BGT. When I probe here between those 2 points, sometimes I find 8 ohm, sometimes I found 60 ohm. Here we have 8.2, but in this position As you can see, there is a bad contact here, solder either here or here. I will resolder this resistor and we will do a test again. If it's a bad one, I will replace it with a normal one with a throw-hole resistor with the same value. I will solder the two sides. Maybe we have a bad joint. Now we will do a test. We will do a new test between the plus VCC and this emitter. Now we have 8.6 ohm. We have 8.6. Here we have 0 ohm. Here we have 8.6. Yes. I will try to power the transmitter and see if it will activate the receiver. Now I will zoom out. We have here the receiver. It's not powered. I will remove this one. I will remove this resistor. We put only the receiver. This is the receiver and we will connect the transmitter. I will remove the ground now. It was soldered for testing. Now we will connect the transmitter. I see the LED flashing. I will put a paper. Yes, now it functions. As you can see, we have a LED here. I will remove the power. It stopped. Now it works. So the transmitter is repaired. Now it works. We will do a test to see the frequency of this transmitter. We find that this receiver works from 60 Hz to 55 kHz. Now we will try to measure the frequency. I will use the tiny scope. I will grab my tiny scope to see the signal. So this is our tiny scope. We will see. So here we have the ground. I will resolder the ground. This ground to see the wave. Now the ground is soldered. I will connect the ground of the scope. This one. And I will probe in this part, in the output of the VGT, in the collector of the VGT. So here we have this is the emitter, this is which is connected to the LED is the collector. So we will probe here. I will use the AC or the DC mode. We have here a signal. We will increase the sensitivity. We have an offset here. We will try to see the period. Yes, this one. We have a period of 1 millisecond, so we have 1 kilohertz frequency. The frequency of the transmitter is 1 kilohertz. So the problem comes from this tiny resistor here. We have a solder joint in this tiny assembly resistor in this part. So I soldered the two sides, and the transmitter work fine. I will install those two PCB tomorrow. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.